Hello, everyone out there in this virtual world. My name is Shama. I am the program director of Girls and Geese. We're really excited. I'm stoked to have our next guest on today. If you guys haven't seen, Leticia Ribeiro will be joining us here. I'm excited. I'm really excited. Leticia is fantastic. If you guys don't know Leticia already, you should. She is probably one of the most influential women in Jiu-Jitsu. She's a pioneer. She's been in the Jiu-Jitsu scene since before there was a Jiu-Jitsu scene. So if you guys haven't checked it out, we have some really awesome things going on. If you guys go to girlsandgeese.com, you'll be able to see where all of this is listed. You can see what's going on for the whole month. Oh, there is Leticia. Hey, Leticia, how are you doing?
Good, and you, Shama?
You know, go surviving over here. Hard times.
Like me too. I think everybody's in the same. It's the same thing, right? But we're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
pass it through that.
Oh yeah, I think so. How have you been? Have you adjusted to this whole new virtual world? Do you ever, of
Man, I
jujitsu?
just
How have you
finished. I
adjusted?
just finished to teach a class now. I'm teaching like classes, like online classes for my students, and I just finished one now. I'm here at the academy, but yeah, as I said, I think now we have to do whatever we can, right?
Absolutely. What kind of classes are you offering during this hard time? I know you're multifaceted with the gymnastica and the Bulgarian
Yeah,
bag. Are you doing
yeah,
that
we are
online?
doing. I now right now I just finished Bulgarian Bag for teens. I start to teach Bulgarian Bag for teenagers, and we have like Ginástica Natural. But you know what we are trying to do, because it's a fact that man, we can't teach a lot of jiu-jitsu. It's a fact. People are trying to do, like, in my opinion, on dummies and this and that. And I say, what I'm doing here, I try to to get my students to sweat, you know, with some workout, something that gonna be good for them, their body, and gonna be good for their mind too. I think that's the most important thing.
Just getting them moving, getting them
Yes,
active.
you know.
Yeah. It's hard because so many of us are so restricted, so we're not moving as much as we normally are. So,
Yeah. And I'm trying to make they do a good workout, a good sweat from home, so we made they schedule based on that, to do like a workout. We teach jiu-jitsu twice a week, but it's not the main thing now for us.
yeah. Are you training yourself at all? Are you training any
Yeah.
jujitsu?
No, no, jiu-jitsu not that much, just sometimes, with some students. But yeah, I'm doing Bulgarian bag, it's my main training now, and like I don't see myself in shape like that for a while, right?
So you're getting fit during the quarantine. You're
Uh-huh,
using your
yeah,
time wisely.
yeah,
As
it's
opposed,
good.
yeah. I know so many people are like, "Oh, I need to buy a new gi. I'm just sitting around getting fat,
Man,
eating."
I'm in one of the best shapes, that I have been lately,
Oh
because
yeah.
I'm not actually I'm starting to work more, teaching more online classes, but with the Bulgarian bag, as I talk with my students today, and Bulgarian bag was my conditioning for my last four world titles, so I really trust and believe on the train, and I'm just moving with my bag around.
Nice. So you getting? Are we gonna see you return and dominate? Get that next world
Man,
title?
to be
You sound like
honest,
you're ready.
after the quarantine, I think it will be a good time, to train a little bit of jiu-jitsu, and go back, because, as I said, I'm just training now, I'm teaching like twice a day, but I can take care more about my dieting, and my body and my mind, and yeah,
Yeah, that's good. You actually have some me
yeah,
time, some time for
yeah.
you to take care of you, as opposed to giving.
But I
Huh?
miss it. I miss the jiu-jitsu, Shama,
Yeah, you miss your
a lot.
students too, I'm sure. I mean, that's your family, and you have such a phenomenal team of people there.
At least now I'm coming to the academy, you know. I'm coming to the academy every day. I do my training here. You know, at least I'm not at the home as I was. You know, so yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start taking some questions from the folks at home. We've gotten a few. You sparked some interest with the Bulgarian bag. So I want to ask, do you like the bag over other supplest products?
Yeah, I think they have this the supple ball, the speed ball is really good too. You know, I just got one like 2 weeks ago. I started to train it too, but yeah, as I said, you know, I trained Bulgarian bag over 10 years. You know, and my coach introduced for me. You know, he learned from the guy that created that is Ivan, is the one
Mm-hmm.
that I had the opportunity to train with him too. I know him, and then my coach passed away some years ago, you know, the guy that introduced me Bulgarian bag. But
Yeah,
yeah, Bulgarian bag, I think for fighters in general and for jiu-jitsu, for the grip, is a really good workout.
absolutely. I looked at the videos and I'm like, oh man, I think I'm way too out of shape for that. Do you have advice for people who are trying to get into it? Is it something that maybe you should like go light on the weight first and
Yeah,
like less
just
rep?
grab a small bag, you know, like a light bag, you know, to start. That's why it's good if you have an academy that have a lot of bags, because you can start with like a light bag and progress, you know, as much technique you get, because Bulgarian bag is it's technique, you know, it's about technique. So as more technique you get, as heavy you can go in the bag.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I suggest to get a light bag, you know, to start.
Did somebody ask, are you doing 30 on and 30 off with most of the program?
What this means?
I don't know. It says, are you doing 30 on, 30 off with most programming? I'm not sure what that was referring to. I didn't
Yeah,
know if that was
if he can
referring to
if
the
he
Bulgarian
can
bag.
explain it better.
I don't know. If you guys, if that was your question, go ahead. Oh, 30 seconds. Are you doing 30 seconds of the bag and then 30 stop or?
No, we do have a lot of types of Bulgarian bag training. Like talking about like and methodology, how I say methodology of training, you know, like different ones, you know. Myself, I do with my high level students, you know, that I do a separate training at noon with the athletes, you know. I train myself and then I invite some girls to train too, because then it's more fun to train it together. So this training we do around 20 sets, and but it's 4 sets straight. We just rest after we do 4 times 4 exercise. So each set has 4 exercise. So we do 1 set, 4 exercise, then we do 1, 2, 3, 4. Then after this we rest around like a minute, and then we do another set with 4 more exercises. So we do 5 sets of 4 different exercises each. Rest like 1 minute between the sets. That's it. There's no rest at all.
Awesome. No rest for the weary.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Another person is asking what's the weight of the bag I'm using. My weight now it's 123. I go between 120, 125, and now I'm 123, around that, and I use 17 pounds, 17 libras.
Oh
How
wow.
I say libras?
That's pounds. It's
Yeah,
pounds.
pounds,
LBS is
17.
pounds.
Yeah, so I use 17 pounds, and a good one to start if you are light, if the girl is light or doesn't have experience, it's good to start with 11, you know, and a big guy can be 22 or 26. You know, 26 is pretty heavy, need a good technique. But Bia do 26 sometimes.
Cool.
Yeah,
There's a
and I can do too, but I like to train lighter, light with the light bag, because I do more cardio, you know. So I
Mhm.
prefer I go for the light bag.
Awesome. I wanted to talk, kind of go back in history. Yeah, I remember the first time I saw you was actually on a VHS tape. way back in the day, and you were one of the only woman on this tape of I think Danielle Morales was on it, and I knew him, and I remember I was like, oh, who is this tiny woman that is just destroying and dominating out there? And I wanted to see if maybe we could go back in time. What was it like in Brazil being a woman? Did you have any role models coming up the ranks, or was it just pretty much all men that you were training with, and there were no real women standing out at that time?
So when I first started, I first started 96, no, 95 to 96. The first world championship for men's was 96, was the first time, That time it didn't even have a world championship for girls. But the only girl that have like above me, that was Leka, she was one that have another girls, but she was the girl that compete more. She was already teaching jiu-jitsu too, she has like a female, start to do a female team. So she was the girl that I look up, back then in Brazil. But before her even, I think it was the guys, like Hoyler, the guys from my academy, especially Hoyler, because he won the first 96, 97, 98, 99. So I saw him winning all these world titles. So he was my idol, and beside that, I watch how he's training for the worlds, and then watch how he trained and watch him competing and winning, I think it was priceless back then.
Awesome. So going from being, multiple time world champion and transitioning to being more of a coach and a mentor, did was it hard realizing like, okay, well, maybe competing is something that's going to take the back seat and I need to start focusing on a different aspect? Was there any kind of defining moment, or was it, I know you were teaching too, but was there anything a moment that you can think of when that shift changed? I mean, because you have a phenomenal team of women, that have just for years now, since you came to America, has just been, dominating, and you've built up one of the strongest women's team out there.
Yeah. So the thing was, I came to America 2007 to get together with the World Championship. The last Worlds in Brazil was 2006, and then when Worlds came to America in 2007, I came to compete, and then Morango got the MMA fight. And then when he got the MMA fight, and then I said, okay, let's stay. And then we had the opportunity to work back then with Saul and Shanji, and we did it there. We worked together with them, and we trained at his academy too. And that time he was Gracie Humaitá as well. And then I came to compete at first, and of course to share like jiu-jitsu and to try to develop the woman, how I say, category, the
Like,
woman
oh,
division.
category. Yeah,
The
yeah, the
woman
division.
division.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my goal, but I was focused on, when I first arrived here, I was focused on my career. I want to train and compete. I didn't think like, oh, I'm going to open the academy. I was just there at FIT, the academy that I used to work, and I was training and competing. And then 2013, we decided to open the academy. And then I won 2009, 10, 11. And then 2013, I decided to open the academy. We figured out that was a good time. And then we opened the academy. And then 13, I could not compete because it was a lot of work, was so hard in the beginner, to teach and to take care of like the bills. And because in the beginning, when you open the academy, you have to do everything. You don't have money to pay enough for nobody to work. Yeah. So you teach, you clean the bathroom, you clean the mat, you see the bills, you pay, you do the membership, you answer the phone. And then 2013, I said, okay, I can't compete this year. And then came 2014, and then I say, okay, I'm gonna compete. I'm gonna try now to train. Then I did a great camp. I lost in the semifinals, but I was prepared. I lost by mistake, and was strategy. But I did a good tournament, and that was my last one.
Awesome. Well, I hope we get to see you out there again now that you're
Me
in
too.
this. It's number 10, right? Next one would be
Yeah,
number 10. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that's a good round number.
yeah. Because
Double digits.
then you don't have fingers anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
no
okay,
more.
how are you gonna do? You know, no more fingers.
10, 4.
Yeah, it's
uh,
better stop it there.
Someone asked, I mean, I love anytime I go out there. You have an amazing kids team. It's
Yeah.
phenomenal. And so, what's the next big thing now that you've built up this huge women's team or kids team and women's team?
You know, like we try to develop the men's teams here too. You know, we have like some good fighters too. You know, it's because the fact that I'm a woman and I have B and I have Gab and I have Carol. You know, we have girls from all over the world that come to training every year. You know, and back and forth sometimes because of their visa. So I think it bring more girls too. You know, but we have some really good guys here at the academy too. But I think the focus, to be honest, it's on our kids teams, you know, because I think the kids are the future, you know, is what we are looking for to train them, you know, like since young, you know, because as I said, in some lives, I think I think it's good to get the kid really young, you know, like you teach them not just jiu-jitsu, but you teach them like a lot of things that come with jiu-jitsu too, you know, good manners and everything else. So when you see the kid coming like 5 years old, even 4 years old, I have some kids that start to train with me 4 years old and now they are 12, 13, you know. It's really cool because you see them as a good, really good kid, good person, you know, with a beautiful jiu-jitsu, a good competitor. So it's good to know and to see that how you can build somebody, you know, in a good way. So yeah, the focus is on the kids for sure.
Awesome. How old was Bia when she started coming and training with you?
12.
She was 12. Ah,
Yeah,
and she's been training with you ever since.
yeah. Since
How
day
is it like?
one.
How has it been? How she's like one in her late 20s now, so it's been a long time.
Yeah, B is 28.
Oh wow. That's a
Yeah.
really good time. What would you say is, I know you have so many things to be proud of, but what would you say is like one of ranked up there? What is one of the most, what are you most proud of that you've done in your jujitsu journey? I
Man,
know
have
that's
a,
hard.
yeah, you know, like I think doesn't have if he's a jiu-jitsu athlete, you know, in a black belt division. First, you dream to get a black belt, you know, like a jiu-jitsu athlete that thinking about like, oh, I want to be an athlete, I want to live with the sport, right? First thing you say, my dream is to get my black belt, and then you get a black belt, and then if you keep your career as an athlete, you want to be a world champion, right? Your dream, oh, now I want to be a world champion as a black belt, you know. And then after that, if you became a teacher, it's open the academy, right? And then I say, oh, I want to open my academy. And then after I say, oh, I want to make a world champion as well, right? And then I don't know to tell you one, you know, because I think this process of like being a world champion, form another world champion, open my own academy in another country, you know, and today have a kids team that I think it should have a good kids team like that is priceless too, you know. I'm really happy, you know, what the work that we are doing here, not just me but all the instructors together, you know.
Mhm.
And I think everything together, Shama, it's hard to say one.
The whole journey, the entire,
Yeah,
you've
yeah,
checked a lot of boxes though along the way, I have to
yeah.
say.
But that's the thing, you know, like this is what I tell my students, I tell everybody and say, if you don't have a goal, you know, you don't have life, you know. I think the goals are part of your life, you know, and then you start to like to do like done, 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 you know. And then but if you ask me right now what's my goal, I don't know, you know.
I'm sure there's big, huge things. You just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger with every box you check. So,
But I think people are asking me, like if I'm gonna compete again. Like I want to do my last fight of my career. As I told you, I fought the last one, 2014 was the last time that I stepped on the mat. But yeah, I'm feeling good, and I have a lot of like good training partners. But yeah, I really needed to stop to teach a little bit, and focus a little bit more in the training, and maybe like tell more my instructors and my students to help me on the part of teaching, and then I have my time because yeah, I know how is to be prepared, what I have to do to be prepared, and I want to do the right thing, and to do my last fight, but I'm gonna do it.
it's gonna be good. I
Yeah,
think all of us are really excited. I
yeah,
remember one time you told me that, it's it's hard to win a world championship, but it's even harder to continue to win the
yeah.
world championship. Do you feel like more pressure going in now that you have won it so many times, um, to
I
perform?
felt it. I felt the pressure. I felt a lot of pressure when I was there. Because when you are a champion, it's a lot of pressure. Doesn't have a champion
Hmm.
that won many world titles that don't go there with depression. I think depression exists. It's a fact. The thing is how to deal with that pressure. So I think it's important, the mindset, because as I talk with the beer, and the other girls, say don't feel pressure, like we're gonna feel the pressure, but don't let this pressure, you know, and get over you. You have to control that. So
Hmm.
I don't think now I have more pressure than before because I'm long time without compete. That's not like before was my main goal of my life was to win, and to be a champion. This is what I want. I think now is a little bit less pressure, and I think I go more for them, because my kids ask all the time, Shama, when I gonna see you again? They watch videos, but yeah, I know I'm pretty sure they wanna see me live, and yeah, I gonna go for them too.
Oh, I can't wait. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
What would you say, and kind of along the same lines, but you've had a tremendous legacy here in jiu-jitsu, and you're by no means like done contributing, but what would you like to be remembered for? What would you like your legacy to be that you leave behind in jiu-jitsu whenever, you're in your 90s and you're like, well, it's time to pass it's time to slow down and go sit on a beach for a little
yeah.
while.
Like yeah, I think it's I think it yeah, I think I'm doing a good job on that, and keep it not just mine but the Grace Academy, because I don't think I have how to say my name without combine with the Gracie Humaitá, so I think it's not just my legacy, but it's a Gracie Humaitá legacy, Helio Gracie legacy. This is what we focus on the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu that we learn, that we bring from Brazil, we teach exactly what we learn, of course we still study, jiu-jitsu, but I think is that, I think I try to be a good example, Shama, for the generation, not just for my students but for the other ones too. And it's kind of cool because I don't compete for a long time, and I still go to the tournament, and a lot of small girls from another teams, they said, oh, I saw you on YouTube. So it means that they still watch me fighting, watch my fights for a long time ago, so this is good. So I just wanna pass to this generation, to that the women can do too, that you can train hard, that you can be a world champion, that you can live with the sport, that you can have your own academy as a woman if you want, that you can make a world champion as well, and you can be anything you want in your life. I think that's the best message, that and that you have to be strong. you know. I think that's the best message that I can pass for them.
Awesome. No, I think you're already doing that. We had a couple questions. Molly over at Sweaty Betty's. She said, "How has your game or approach changed over the years?"
Oh yeah, and my game for competition, I think so, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, when I was purple belt back then when I start, I used to, I think blue and purple I used to play guard, you know, because I didn't know takedowns, and plus, and there in Brazil back then, and they have like a huge women's team, but they was from judo, right? They train in judo. They was black belts in judo. They was from Gama Filho, was the name of one university there that used to compete a lot against us, you know. So the girls from this team, they was black belt in judo and blue belt in jiu-jitsu, blue and purple. So I compete with them. So I got so scary, you know, to play with them stand up. So I had to develop my guard. So when I was going to fight against these girls there in Brazil, the Gama Filho girls, I have to sit right away, you know, because otherwise they would throw, because I didn't have any top like stand up game, you know, any takedowns.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, when I became a black belt, you know, and even after I think brown belt, I started to train takedowns, and because I didn't like a lot of judo, I started to train wrestling in Brazil with the American guy that called Daryl Guller. And then when I started to train the wrestling, I started to like, you know, and then I put the wrestling on my game. And then I said, okay, now I know wrestling. I have to be on top. And actually, it fit good because in my division, most of the girls they play bottom. And then I thought about it and I said, okay, now I know takedowns. I have like my guard, it's okay because I play guard since I was white belt, right? Now I'm gonna play top. I'm gonna become a top player because I thought in my head and I say if everybody play guard and if I play top, I'm gonna be different, right? And then I did, you know, I train a lot of takedowns because I say, okay, if they don't pull guard, I'm gonna take them down. You know, that was my strategy, you know, and I say I'm gonna play a hard stand-up game. I'm gonna force them to pull guard or I'm gonna take them down. And then that was my strategy for a while, you know, especially my last years of my career. And
Mm-hmm.
then I became a top player.
Nice. So it made you evolve in some
Yeah,
ways. That's
yeah.
good. How do you push through? This is a question that came in. How do you push through like the last few moments of your match? Is there something that you do beforehand, or is there anything that you do in those moments
Say
that like,
again, Sham, I didn't understand.
oh, sorry. How do you push? So say you're in the last few minutes of the match or your last few moments of the match. How do you push forward? Like, say you're down on points or whatnot. How do you push forward and come back in those last few minutes? Is there anything that you do in training or during the match to kind of help you get through that and come back?
We have some specific training for that too, you know, and like, yeah, okay, you are losing, you have to escape, or you have 30 seconds to get out from this position. You have 30 seconds to do a point, you know, okay, stand up, who do the first point gonna win the match. Have like some kind of trains, you know, that we can do for strategy, you know, and for these like reason that, oh, you are losing at the end, you know. But I think the most important thing in this case, you know, if you are losing and if you have to keep fighting without quit, is the mindset. You know, you have to be strong on your mind, you know, to know that you have to fight to the end. You know, the problem is when you get tired,
Yeah.
because I think one of the most, I think the aspect that make people stop to fight is when they get tired. I think it's the number one. You know, a lot of people quit because they are tired, and then it get on their head. You know, so I think it's important to do types of train, you know, before big tournaments, being tired, you know, because then you get used to move forward, to keep fighting even when you are tired.
Absolutely. Do you think that this current situation that we're in right now is going to change the face of jujitsu for indefinitely? Like, how do you think that this situation, I mean, because our sport and our art is, yeah, it involves a lot of personal space, you know. How do you think this situation we're in now is going to impact it in the long run?
You know one thing, and I was in the beginner of all of these, you know, like a lot of like jiu-jitsu owners, my friends too, you know, everybody call each other and say, hey, and what are we gonna do right now? You know, jiu-jitsu won't come back. We have to close the gym and this and that. Today, and then I was crazy too. You know, I could not sleep good. You know, like until today. You know, like I'm sleeping less than I used to.
Mm,
But yeah, but today, what I'm thinking, you know, and what I'm trying to pass for my students, for my friends that have academy too. You know, let's live day by day. You know,
mm-hmm,
let's live today. What we have to do today. Today we have to teach online. Today we have to try to clean the academy, to get the academy ready from when we come back, paint the academy, you know, like do the things that you have to do and that you could not do when the academy was open, you know. And let's live like that, because if we think what we're gonna do in 3 months, we're gonna get crazy, because the things change all the time with the virus, you know. And the government say one thing today, tomorrow they say another thing, and next week is another thing. So I think the best thing to do now, you know, is wait, you know, do whatever we can do now. What we can do now, online class,
yeah.
that's it, you know. So let's work on that to try to keep the academy, the students connect with the teachers, with each others, you know, and try to do some them to make them to do workouts, to get sweat, you know. And this is what we can do. A lot of people, Shama, this is what I can say. A lot of people are planning what we're gonna do now. Let's make a plan to when we open the academy, we're gonna make a square here, we're gonna do this. But this is, can be in 2 months, can be in 3 months. So I think we have to live today, you know, and let the day by day, you know, later on we see what's gonna happen. But I think eventually jiu-jitsu is gonna go back for how it is, you know, and this virus is gonna stay as any other virus, you know. But we're gonna create how I say, we create I forgot the word in English. In Portuguese is anticorpos. We're gonna create we're gonna create when you say when we have the virus, and then we create something that we don't
Oh,
have
like
the
an
virus.
antibody, like it will,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah, you know. And it's gonna be around still, you know. I know that they will joke with that, but I think in maybe 2 years, 1 year, I don't know, I'm gonna say, oh, I'm sick, what you had? Oh, corona, you know.
Yeah. I
Gonna be like that, like, oh, I'm sick with another thing, you know.
yeah. No, I hope so too. I hope so too. And I love your attitude. You're always so, you know, positive and strong. And just yeah. We'll take a couple more questions here. One of them said, "Who do you think the next kids world champion will be?"
Man, from
From your
who I
team,
think
I
the
guess.
next, from my team.
Yeah, from your team. That's
On
what
my
they
team,
said.
I can't say one word because, yeah, man, I'm gonna be in trouble if I say one name,
Yeah, I
right?
know.
Because I have a lot.
I
I
know. I
can't
almost
say.
didn't ask you that one.
Right now, I just finished to teach like a Bulgarian bag was my first class for them. You know, it's an intro Bulgarian bag class. I just introduced for them, and then
Oh.
before the training, I put like a video of 10 years ago, me and Bia training. You know, and then I show them
Oh.
the video and I say, look, this is what I want you guys to do, right? And but I have a really good team, you know. I can't say a name, you know. I have good teenagers too, because
Hmm.
sometimes teenager is a hard age, you know.
Yeah.
They are really like not consistent at all, you know. I try to put on their mind and I say, look, if you want to be good at something, you need commitment and consistent, you know.
Oh.
So yeah, they say, Henry, have a lot, have a lot,
Oh, yeah.
but have a lot of good kids in my gym that I really believe that they're gonna be a world champion one day.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure. There's no doubt that you'll be producing a whole
A
bunch of
lot,
more
a lot of
world
good boys
champions.
too. Watch the boys because
Yes.
I have a really good boys team at my academy now, especially the teenagers, and watch out for them.
Awesome. Well, I'm super excited. Those of you guys who don't know already, Sweaty Betties and Girls and Geese has come together during this time of hardship, and we are launching what we're calling the United She Stands project. And Leticia will be teaching at at our very first event this Sunday. So you guys go to you can find us online. Sweaty Betties has the information up on their Facebook page. It's up on the Girls and Geese website and Facebook page. That is this Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And Leticia is going to be sharing some of her stellar technique with us. So go register. We are filling up fast. So get in there while you can.
Yeah, it's an honor for me, to do the first one, and I think it is open space for, I think, it will open a lot of like spaces and opportunities for another girls, to show their work too, and I think gonna be a really cool event, right? I wait everybody there.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait. Super stoked on it. And so I will see you on Sunday, bright and early. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in for yet another edition of Ask a Black Belt. Thank you, Leticia. I know you're busy during this time, and I appreciate you always supporting and taking time to do this kind of stuff with us. But I look forward to seeing you soon. You reading the comments?
Yeah.
Like, what are they saying?
Yeah. Okay, Shama, it was really good to see you. Thank you, everybody, right, that would spend this time with us here, and stay safe, stay active, and I think at this time, you have two choices, be negative, how I say negative,
Yeah, that's right.
eat bad, and stay in the couch. Yeah. Or you be positive, stay healthy, and work out. So you have the choice to choose. Choose for the good one. And we're gonna be on the mat soon again. I'm pretty sure about that. Right, Shama?
Oh yeah.
Big kiss, everybody. Big kiss to you. Good to talk with you. Right. See you soon.
All right. Take care. Bye, guys.
Everybody.
Bye, Leticia.
Bye bye.